Don't you run out? No, I can't show you no love, baby. Yeah, I am a boss in the cut, Mayday. Bubbles and I'm these models. It's popping, I tip her. I skip her, I give her the. Girl, you on my line right now. Yeah, I can see the signs right now. Feeling like a boss right now. Feeling like a boss right now. And you just took a loss right now. Dripping in the sauce right now. Get a sprinkle up my style. I'm about to lock down. Feel like in the real life.
All right, Coach, from one of the loudest venues in the NFL, there's a look at Arrowhead Stadium here in Kansas City. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Minnesota Vikings and the Kansas City Chiefs. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The first carry now. This is Alvin Kamara. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Mahomes to throw on 2nd down. Dancing to his left. Able to shake him off. All in all, no gain on the play, and it'll bring up 3rd.
Well, he strung it out as far as he could, and I like the fact that he kept his eyes downfield, but he finally ran out of time and room. But I'll take that over forcing it downfield and possibly having it intercepted.
3rd play of this opening drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 3. Now here's Mahomes. Hard throw, incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Here's Thomas. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. The first carry now for Dalvin Cook. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a 1st down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Back to throw now on 1st down. Incomplete. Well, too much oomph, too much mustard there on that pass.
They really turned it loose, didn't they? Really cut loose with that one. Sharp, strong. Didn't lead to a completion, though. Made it very difficult.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. First down, here's the run with Cook. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield after a gain of about 4.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. We're looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. First time these two have hooked up this afternoon, and it's a first down. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They run the counter with Cook. And he struggles to get a yard here, maybe a yard, down to the 31.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Gun. They'll look to throw. Going to throw right side here. Complete. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Play number 7 now coming up on the drive.
Detroit,
3rd and 5.
Detroit. Watching now, Barney.
They'll set up a throw. Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. Frank Clark coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it'll be 4th down. And McManus able to put it through, and the Vikings have a 3-0 lead. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason.
Black 58 rail.
Mahomes now on 1st down. Looking for Watkins, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And he's going to score. It's a Viking touchdown. So a dangerous pass over the middle into zone coverage, and it bit him hard.
And what's really difficult when you throw it in that direction and versus that zone, that means the linebackers have gotten to their spot, gotten their heads back around, and they can see the quarterback and everything in front of them. And they took big advantage of it, went the other direction, excellent blocking, and picked up a touchdown.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And out come the Chiefs now. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now, and I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
Now Mahomes to try again after the pick 6. He'll hit Watkins on the crossing route. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A gain of 32 that time.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Mahomes now on 1st down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Yeah, good game catching the ball in the backfield a week ago, and they're going to try and involve him in that way in this game as well. But you can tell scouting is taking over. They're making it a little bit more difficult.
Yeah, defensively, they told us, hey, we've got to take him out of the passing game, limit it to just short runs, because he can really impact this offense. Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Mahomes. Looking left side for Watkins, and he's got him. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. And again, it's Mahomes. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go and make the tackle right away.
These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now, seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
And now out comes Minnesota. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that. And they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. Well, they know how to protect the pass, but sometimes cornerbacks, they can also stop the run, can't they?
Is that what we call a complete corner? Yeah, because we're so used to these guys just being defenders in the pass game. How about the guys who can come up and make the tackles? That's what we just saw there for no gain, too.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. And now the ball's out, fumbled near midfield. And I think the Chiefs have it, they do. Well, he did what he's known for. He made the catch, then he turned into a runner, took the contact, and coughed it up.
And all I remember as a player, when they catch the ball, when those acrobatic guys catch it, you have to make them pay sometimes. You have to put it on them, big tackle, knock the ball free. Anything you can do to slow them down.
Here we go now. Blue 45. Blue 45.
Now a 1st down carry. It's Kamara. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. Tackle made that time by Anthony Barr.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Blue 45. Blue 45.
Now Mahomes throwing on 2nd down. And this one caught by Travis Kelce. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their route.
And he's going to be grabbed and pulled down. Linval Joseph with a great push up front. He picks up the sack and a loss of 8. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down.
There we go now.
From the gun, it's Mahomes. Flushed out right. Out of the backfield, that's complete to Kamara. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. That one goes for 24 yards. A first trip to the red zone for KC. They've got a 1st and goal just inside the 5.
Left.
Trying to pound it in, Kamara. And he's going to take it into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Chiefs are an extra point away from tying up this football game. Extra point right down the middle. And we are even at 10 apiece. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he'll probably wish he'd reconsidered here. It will cost him 10 yards as he's down at the 15.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these teams, special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive. Almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
And he's taken down. Back at his own 7.
Well, that's a pretty darn good start to his season, huh? A sack in the opener, adds a 2nd one here. That tells you about his offseason. He came in determined to have a big year, and it's paying off.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18.
Gun! Watch it now, Barney! Hut!
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
He'll drop to throw. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off here by Anthony Hitchens. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line.
Well, Brandon, there's no question who they're going to look to on 3rd and long, but you can bet this defense knows that as well, so they've got him blanketed downfield. And this ball winds up being intercepted.
So after the INT, here's Mahomes. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Schultz. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. It's a really nice 15-yard pickup, and now it's 1st and goal. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. So a loss of 5, and it'll be 2nd down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
So first down went in the wrong direction. They're at the 13-yard line. Here's second and goal. Mahomes now to throw. Looking for Watkins, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Anthony Barr. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Well, they thought they were going to break the tie. The defense had other plans. They were already in field goal range, but boom, an interception.
I don't know if this was a case of being a little bit too greedy with the opportunity to put points on the board, but give credit to the guys on the defensive side. Hung in there, battled, and made a key play.
And he'll be taken down at the 18. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And all the way down to the 29. A big play there on the catch and run. 53 yards. 2 minutes to play in a tightly contested first half. We're back to Arrowhead after this. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And it'll be 2nd and very short. Back to the ground, this time Cook. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
Well, think of it like you would a typical boxing match. The person is on his heels and absorbing blows is having a tough time. And that's what's happening to the defense right now, because the offense is on his toes and punching, and there was another first down run right there.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1. He was looking for Adam Thielen there. And now it's 2nd down.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
He'll look to throw. That'll go as a loss of 9, and it leads to 3rd down.
Detroit! Watching now, Barney!
Movement up front, and I think this is going to be on Minnesota. So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now, 3rd and long. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
And the penalty helps, but not a whole lot. It's still 3rd and long.
Watch it now, Barney!
Back to throw. This is caught. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. It's a quarterback sneak. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Now before this 2nd down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this 1st half. They come out here in the eye. They'll run for it with Cook. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. This is 3rd and goal. This Chiefs defense, they're giving it all they got.
Gun!
He'll look to throw. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Stephon Diggs in the final seconds of the 1st half. And the Vikings are going to take the lead. McManus's point after is good, and that makes it a 17-10 score. Now McManus on to kick this one off. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And the Chiefs now getting set to go. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. They still can't get it. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. So we hit halftime with our visitors, the Vikings, taking the lead to the locker room. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, the Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the 2nd half. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the 3rd. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the 1st half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Back to throw here. And he's taken down. A Chiefs sack. Frank Clark in there to get him. His 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
That's his 2nd sack of the game, and the best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up. This guy's been pretty good at it all game long.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. And that one good for 16 yards and a first.
And that's how you pick up a first down. Not only does he make the catch, but has enough body control to get his feet down inbounds, toe tapping and dragging to make sure he gets it done.
A give. This is Cook. Room to run past midfield. And he'll take this down to the 40-yard line. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first.
At halftime, you had to feel like the defense had to be in a good position. They had to feel good about themselves. They'd had this guy boxed in all game long, but after that run, that might be the breakthrough that he's looking for. Now they may have some difficulty dealing with him the rest of today.
They run again on first down. Cook. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Derek Nottie makes the tackle.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. He's going to go for a big play downfield. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up third.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle third of the field where he threw that one. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
Personally, I think they've got to go somewhere else with the football. They've got to bracket it out there in double coverage. Makes it hard to fit it in time after time.
It would have had to have been an absolutely perfect pass and not good enough. And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. So just enough juice to get the 3, and I think that wind at the back helped a little bit there.
Certainly did, and to me that tells me that head coach knows his kicker and realized the wind was at his back. That was probably the outer limits of what he could make, and he knew the wind might be able to aid him and get that ball over the crossbar, and it did.
So here's the Chiefs offense ready for their first reps in half number 2. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, here's Mahomes. Well, Mahomes can't get away, and down he goes. Everson guarded that time. He's able to run him down for a loss of 12. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. He's going to fire one deep open, and the defense loses him. It's complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. An excellent pickup of 34 yards. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. On 1st down, Mahomes fighting in the end. The pressure too great, and he goes down. Daniil Hunter coming in hard on the blitz. He gets him down for a loss of 4. Second and 14 as they've got work to do here after the sack. Now here's Mahomes. Flush to his right. To the right side, it's Kelsey. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. A gain of 32 that time. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out the playmaker that you just described.
Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Shane Ray not dropping into coverage. He comes on the blitz and takes him down for a loss of 9. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Here's Mahomes to throw. Steps away to his left. And he's going to go down again. Eric Kendricks in there to drop him, and sacks on 1st and 2nd downs are going to lead to a 3rd and long. Going to need better protection here. 3rd and long following the sack from Mahomes and company.
We got three, fellas. We got
Working from the gun, Mahomes being chased out left. Now and that is caught. Touchdown, Kansas City. As his guys are in for 6, and the Chiefs are able to get this back within a touchdown. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a second one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards.
Gun! Watch it now, Barney!
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
We're back now in KC. We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10.
Over!
Handoff comes to Cook. Space to maneuver at the 40. Now that's one they hate. The ball's got to come all the way back.
So that's an explosive play, a really explosive play that gets wiped out, and they have to start over after the penalty.
Cook following the penalty. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Now let's go! Green, 39!
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. It's complete to Diggs. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they march off another 15 against your squad.
They pitch it out to Cook. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. They'll set up to throw. He's going to air one out. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. It's the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. A critical error there in a tight game in the fourth.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the fourth quarter. Turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the fourth quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
And he'll take this one up to about the 6-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's second down. A little more room here on 2nd and 6 from the 6. And now we're going to get a delay of game. And that's going to back them up halfway. They're inching closer and closer here to the wrong goal line.
When you're backed up like that, all you're trying to do is make sure you don't give up a big play, right? You don't miss an assignment that really gets you into more trouble.
Following the delay, here's 2nd and 9. Following the penalty, it's Kamara. And a short gain here as he gets it up only to about the 6. Give him 3 yards, and now they're left needing a conversion here on 3rd and 6.
Here we go. Green 90. Green 90.
Mahomes going to throw. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Returnable for Thomas. An excellent return that time, 26 yards. And the Vikings, they'll be set up well as they take over in great field position, 1st and 10. And the Vikings now heading onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Detroit!
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. 14 yards that time for number 14. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
On the ground, it's Cook. He'll get forward for 3 down to the 16-yard line. Able to stay in bounds, so the clock keeps rolling. And this defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in, and all you're doing when you're talking to your defensive teammates is first guy there, hold him up. Second, third guy in, rake it the football. Get it out. We've got to create a turnover because one more score, and this game's over.
Watch it now, Barney. Barney. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll drop the throw. And he's got it. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Stephon Diggs, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. Extra point from McManus is good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Now McManus on to kick this one off. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now the Chiefs offense, they get ready to head on the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency. Move the ball at least a few times on offense. Get a couple of first downs.
The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Daniil Hunter in there to pick up his second sack now of the afternoon. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. On second down, here's Mahomes. Buying time to his left. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. The Chiefs on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Mahomes to throw. Forced out to his left. He may try and run for this. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. 5 yards that time out of the scramble. But now they're looking at a 4th down situation.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Now Mahomes got to have this one. Wide open receiver complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a first down. 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
Well, I'd look down at my play sheet, and what I would find, plays have been successful throughout the game that have worked at the distance you need, and that's exactly what they got done.
He's going to let it fly. And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet.
No, we're not cheering. No, we're not rooting. But I am excited about this. I know you are, too. We got a ball game again after that big-time strike.
Big-time strike, and you are right. Don't go anywhere yet. This thing's not done. So a minute and change to go, and this is going to be an onside kick. And the Vikings able to recover. The hands team does its job. A tough one there. They certainly wanted that when they needed it, but they didn't absolutely have to get it. They still do have 3 timeouts.
You're exactly right. They had to attempt it. But even though they didn't get it, as you noted, with 3 timeouts, if they can get these stops on defense, all hope is not lost.
Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. Now here's a defensive timeout called by the Chiefs, as they'll get it with just a shade under a minute to go in the game. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. That one looks like he'll throw here. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And the Chiefs are going to signal for and be granted another timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. The Vikings on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This time they face a 3rd and 2. They'll run it. Here's Cook. And a short gain down to about the 33. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here, as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in quarter number 4. And he hits the upright, but it caroms in anyway. Boy, plenty of distance there as he banks it in. And that'll make this a 7-point game. Now, from a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a 1-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
Out now the Chiefs offensive unit ready to do battle again. They're down here in a 1-score game, but the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their...
And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in 1 game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game, because no one can stand up to this week after week.
But he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Daniil Hunter in there to drop him as the clock continues to roll. Going to need better protection here. 3rd and long following the sack from Mahomes and company. They'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. And that's caught inside the 35. Oh, and the big play's going to get even bigger as penalty flags are down, and I believe they're going to get a face mask penalty tacked on. Maybe a critical mistake at this juncture, as now they've got a 1st and 10.
Black 58 rail. Black 58 rail. Z.
Back to throw. And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Inside the 5. Well, we were on hand for a fun and entertaining game here, coming down really to that last play. Great job defensively to get the pick and seal it.
And we know that every play during a game matters. You're never sure which one's going to be one of the key ones. But at the end of the game, when you analyze it, 3, 4, 5 plays are going to be the ones you focus on. And that last play was one of them. The last shot had to take it, and they came up with the interception and sealed their victory.
So for Minnesota, it's a dream start. 2 wins in 2 early road games. And they'll be back home next week to take on the Denver Broncos. Meanwhile, for the Chiefs, they'll fall to 1-1. And they'll be off to Oakland next week for a date with the Raiders. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.